Good morning and welcome to the Killik & Co market update for Friday the 1st of June. It's been a very busy week this week with lots going on, especially in the political sphere. But let's start by having a look at the latest FTSE 100 quarterly reshuffle. Now the FTSE 100 is the largest 100 companies on the London Stock Exchange, but clearly these companies are changing in size all the time. So every quarter the list is readjusted to account for any companies that may have expanded or contracted. So this quarter we've learnt that Ocado, the online delivery company, and GVC, the online gambling company, will both be promoted into the FTSE, and that Mediclinic, which owns private hospitals, and G4S, the government contractor, will both be relegated from the FTSE. And it's quite interesting to look at these companies moving in and out of the FTSE because it can give an idea of where the economy is headed and what types of companies are doing well. So it's no surprise this quarter to see that two companies with a very strong digital presence have moved into the FTSE, whereas two more traditional companies with a lack of digital presence have moved out. So that's the FTSE quarterly reshuffle for the latest quarter. And it's been a very turbulent week for Italian politics. It's now been nearly 3 months since the last Italian election, and ever since then, two parties, the Five Star Movement and the League, have been trying to form a coalition. So that has caused a bit of weakness in the euro and also a bit of weakness in the Italian stock exchange. Now on Sunday, the two sides put forward a new finance minister, and he was actually formally rejected by the president of Italy, largely because he is pro-Italy leaving the euro. And after that, it was reported that talks between the coalition had broken down. So that did lead to quite a steep drop in the Italian stock index. So as you can see here, the main index in Italy is the FTSE MIB, or the Milano Indice de Borsa. This is the chart over the last year. And as you can see, there has been quite a sharp fall indeed over the last week. Also over the last few weeks, as these talks have been progressing and as investors have become increasingly concerned about the possibility of reaching a solution, that has caused weakness in the euro. So this is actually the trade-weighted euro, which compares the euro to a basket of major trading currencies such as the dollar, the yen, the pound. And as you can see, the euro has fallen against all of those currencies over the last couple of months. So the Italian elections have been a real concern. And there has been a worry that if the coalition fails, another election will have to be called, and that there is a real possibility that Italy could elect a government that wants to remove the country from the euro. So that's why the euro has been a little bit weak over the last few weeks. However, towards the end of the week, talks between the two sides in Italy did resume, and yesterday it was announced that the president had formally approved the new coalition with the addition of an additional finance minister. So definitely good news. We have since then seen a small rise in the Italian stock index. The new coalition does still have to be voted through Parliament, so there is still one stage to go. But in the short term, it does look good. It looks as though we won't need another election in the short term, and that's definitely good news for a country that has had 64 different governments since the Second World War. And also this week, BP has announced it has invested in a battery charging company called Store.dot. It's not a huge investment, but it is yet another example of big oil companies investing in electric vehicles. So this does demonstrate they are starting to think about life after oil. So as I said, BP has invested in Store.dot. It's also formed a partnership with Neo Capital about investing in electric vehicles in China. And it's also purchased another battery charging company called FreeWire. Royal Dutch Shell has acquired a charging network called NewMotion, and it's also invested in an Uber-style taxi company called FarePilot. And then Total has actually acquired a battery-making company called Saft. So lots and lots of little investments here, and we would expect to see more and more of these as electric vehicles do become more and more common. Moving on to the week ahead, obviously we will be watching the Italian political situation quite closely. And also this morning it has been announced that Spain's Prime Minister has been forced to step down following a proposed vote of no confidence. So as of this morning, Spain does have a new Prime Minister, so we will be watching that situation very closely as well. That could potentially cause a little bit more turbulence in the euro. And then on the individual company side, it's a fairly quiet week with not many companies reporting, but we will be looking forward to results from AO World. That's it from us. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday.